So I'm here at the greenhouses where I work, and I want to show you something that's really, it scared me a lot. So let's walk over here and take a look. So that's the front entrance to one of my greenhouses, and over here on the side, and so here we've got a composter. And we put old potting mix and dead leaves and stuff in here, break it down for some nice broken down decomposed material that we can reuse in the greenhouse. There's some vent holes in here, and we had some guests. I'm gonna show you this. You see down in there? That is a yellow jacket nest. They were flying in and out of those holes right there, and I'm going to show you how I got rid of them without spraying them and using organic products. So now that I've shown you the problem, let's talk about how we solved that problem with that horrible situation with yellow jackets being right next to the front door of a greenhouse. So the tools you'll need to get started, you're going to need something to cut with. You need a pair of box cutters or some scissors. You're going to need a jug. I've got a 1 gallon milk jug here, but any jug would do. We need some fruit, and the sweeter the fruit, the better. I've got watermelon here because watermelon's what I have available. I have a huge watermelon patch out back, and so I have watermelons. Honeydews would work, cantaloupes would work, strawberries would work, any fruit that's really sweet. Then we need some sort of sweet liquid. So I've got orange juice here. We need 2 cups of a sweet liquid. You could use peach juice or grape juice. You could even get away with using a sugary sports drink. Just make sure it has real sugar in it. Don't get a 0-calorie sports drink because there's not real sugar in that. We want real sugar. That's what we're after. We need something to mix with. You could use a mason jar, or like what I have here, I've got a plastic bottle. We need a measuring spoon. We need our insecticide, and both of these are organic, and either one of these will work. So I have boric acid. And this is pure boric acid. This is 99.99% boric acid. There's a lot of products out there that are going to have some fillers in it, or there'll be some sort of binders or powders mixed in with the boric acid, and they'll cut it to 40% or 50%. We want 100% boric acid, or if you don't have boric acid, diatomaceous earth would work as well. So diatomaceous earth is nothing but silicon dioxide. So either one of these products would work. We need something to hang up our trap with. I've got some string here. And then I want something that floats. You just need anything that floats. So if you've got an old piece of styrofoam laying around, I'm an avid fisherman, so I'm going to use fishing bobbers, but you just need anything that floats. Now that we have our materials together, let me show you how to make the trap for our yellow jacket. So the first thing I'm going to start off doing is we need to cut a few holes in our jug. And here again, it doesn't have to be a milk jug. It can just be any old jug that you have around. I've already pre-cut a hole to get my scissors started here. And the goal here, I want to cut a hole or a slit that is big enough for a wasp or a yellow jacket to go through, but small enough that a butterfly is not going to be able to get in here. And so we want a hole that's roughly, maybe a 1/2 inch long here. So I'm a 1/2 inch long, and then we're going to go pretty much the length of the flat surface of the jug here. And I'm going to repeat that on the other side. So I've already got a little pre-cut spot here, and I'm going to go down. I'm going to cut roughly a 1/2 inch on this side, a 1/2 inch on this side. I'm going to pull that little flap up, and we're going to cut that off. And there's our hole right there. So I'm trying to limit the buy-kill, if you will, of this product, because this product will get rid of moths and butterflies. So the thought process here is make this small enough that wasp and yellow jackets can get in, but butterflies with much bigger wings, they're not going to be able to get in here. So our next step is to mix our solution. So I've got an empty container here. You can use a mason jar or an empty bottle, anything that you have, but I have 2 cups of a sweet juice. I'm using orange juice just because that's what I have on hand. Here again, you can use any type of juice that you want as long as it's sweet. That's what we're after, is the sweetness here. So we're going to add 2 cups of orange juice to our mixture. And this is going to help attract those pesky wasps, those pesky yellow jackets to our trap. So there's 2 cups of orange juice in our container. And then I'm going to put a half a tablespoon of boric acid into this solution. I'm going to put the lid on, and you want to shake this really well. You want to get a nice homogeneous solution of orange juice and boric acid in there. So boric acid is going to be the active ingredient here that's going to help us get rid of our yellow jacket nest. So the next step I'm going to do is whatever you're using to float in your solution, go ahead and insert that into your jug. I'm using these fishing bobbers here, so I'm just going to put 3 of these down in there. What we're doing, we're giving those yellow jackets and wasps a thing to land on. They need something to land on. They can walk on that and go to the edge, drink the solution, and take it back to the hive. There's other videos out there that will use a string, so they'll attach a string up here to the top, and the yellow jackets and the wasps, they'll use the strings to get in and out. So there's dozens of YouTube videos out there kind of going over the same thing. I'm just putting my own little twist on this. So I'm using fishing bobbers, but you need something, some sort of mechanism that the wasp and the yellow jackets can get in, land on something, drink the solution, and get out. So the next thing we need to do is add our fruit. And remember that we just want something that's really sweet. So watermelons work well, honeydews would work well, cantaloupe would work well, strawberries would work well. The sweeter, the better. So just keep that in mind, because that's what's going to attract the wasp and the yellow jackets to this trap, is that it's going to smell really sweet to them. So now that we've got fruit down in our trap here, we can add our solution of boric acid and orange juice. So here again, it doesn't have to be orange juice. If you have a sugary sports drink, that would work fine. Peach juice, grape juice, anything like that. So we're going to add this solution. And our trap's almost ready. There's just a few more things we need to do. One I've already done here. You need some sort of string. So you need to tie a string to your trap. And the reason being is we don't want animals to get in this. So where I'm at the college, it's surrounded by neighborhoods. I don't have to worry too much about raccoons and possums and armadillos and squirrels and things like that getting into it. What I do need to be concerned about are people's pets. So house cats, yard dogs, things of that nature. And so I have this string here, and I have the ability to hang this about 5 or 6 feet off the ground. There's hooks on the side of the greenhouse that we use to tie down our shade cloth with. So if we're ever growing ferns in the greenhouse, we'll pull a shade cloth over the top, and that is the perfect spot to hang this. It's going to be high enough off the ground that animals can't get to it, but it's going to be in an area roughly 10 to 15 feet away from that yellow jacket nest. They're going to find this, they're going to crawl in here, drink this solution, take it back to the nest, and slowly but surely, over 2 or 3 weeks, what happened was the colony declined and it killed every last yellow jacket in that nest. So let's talk about how this solution works. So boric acid and diatomaceous earth, they work pretty much the same way. So what they do is they interact with the insect's exoskeleton. So insects' bones, for lack of a better term, are on the outside of their body. And so it's made of a protein structure called chitin. And so boric acid or diatomaceous earth will slowly but surely eat away at that, and it causes death. So the worker yellow jackets, they're leaving the nest, they're finding this sugary solution, they're going down in here, they're landing on whatever's floating in here. In my case, it's a bobber. They're drinking that, they're taking it back to the nest, and eventually it gets to the queen. And so the queen will consume enough of this solution that it will kill her, and once we kill the queen, the whole colony will decline. There's one thing I want to discuss about using these traps, and that's by-kill or unintentional kill. So we have made the holes small enough so that hopefully butterflies are not going to get into this, but what can get in here are bees. I've seen 3 or 4 YouTube videos making similar traps to this that say that only the yellow jackets and the wasp are going to be attracted to this, that the bees are more interested in the flowers. Bees want sugar. It doesn't matter if it's the nectar in a flower or if it's the sugary concoction we have down here in the bottom of this jug. All they're after is sugar. And so if you're in an area that is close to a beehive or you have a high population of honeybees, you may want to think twice about using this, because you may interact with those honeybees to the point that their colonies begin to decline as well. Where I'm at, unfortunately, I rarely see a honeybee, if ever. I wish I had honeybees, but what I have are red wasp and black wasp and yellow jackets, and that's really all I see. Occasionally, I'll see a hornet, but I have a perennial garden in my backyard, and I have for years, and I've yet to see the first honeybee in there. Despite that area being a pesticide-free zone, I still don't see any honeybees in there at all. So I feel somewhat confident using this, but here again, that is going to be a decision for you, the homeowner, for you, the landowner, and use this appropriately in the setting that you live. If you've used a trap similar to this, or maybe you've used one exactly like this, down in the comments below, let us know how it worked for you. How long did it take for it to work? And what fruit and what juices did you put in your trap, as well as what insecticide did you put in this trap? So in my examples, we used organic products. Maybe you used a non-organic product and it worked as well. Let us know how that worked. Guys, as always, thank you for watching The Plant Doctor. And until next time, happy gardening.